Welcome back to DXB Today, where tonight we are talking about empowering Emiratis. And our next guest has spent the past 4 years specializing in Emiratisation, and her passion is to create meaningful opportunities for national talent. Please join us in welcoming Nadia Alfahim, the Nationalisation Manager at Chalhoub Group. Nadia, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So I want to know, Chalhoub, one of the biggest names in the UAE. Does Chalhoub Group care in a way about Emirati culture as well as talent?
Most definitely. I would say even my journey coming into the group, Emiratisation for me goes beyond just fulfilling roles with nationals. It's a deep passion project, and partnering with Chalhoub on their journey with Emiratisation, I did find that they were also within the same mindset. As a luxury retailer, as a regional luxury retailer, we find it that it's just a natural step to bring in national talent into the group, as they know our consumer base more than anyone else. And we've seen the drive and the impact that they brought onto the group, which has quenched the thirst of our business for them. One thing to add is that I would say what gives us a momentum is the youth, and they're here to make a mark. And I think that is the biggest inspiration to continue this journey and get more talent on board to add value to the business.
Nadia, I want to know a little bit more about Chalhoub Group's latest campaign. It's called My Bold Future. My Bold Future campaign, which includes programs and initiatives that directly empower families. Could you explain a little bit more?
So, My Bold Future is a campaign that resonates with our national community in Chalhoub Group. One thing to add is that as nationals, we do have a shared cultural heritage and values, but we're also diverse in our own talents and skills and strengths, and we're all on our own journey. And with My Bold Future, we ensure that that reflects that. We have 3 stories of a university student who is taking on a part-time role to get that real work experience within their academic journey. And then we have the graduate who is, let's say, very resilient to go into an area of our business that is very niche, which is our startup incubator, and not being afraid to take on a role that, let's say, is not common yet within the national population. And then you hear the story of a working mother who's on her own journey to balance her purposeful role as a mother, and as well stay and remain committed to her job here in the group. And that's where My Bold Future stands for us. It's a reflection that we as nationals are all in the same pursuit to make a difference in the private sector, but at the same time that we all have our own narratives as well. We all have our own strengths, we all have our own skills, and this is what My Bold Future campaign captures.
So Nadia, just a quick question. How are you able to retain UAE nationals working for the group?
Good question. I would say it all starts from the very moment that we get on a call with them. And I would say it goes all the way back to the recruitment stage. For us, we partner with our national talent to understand where their skills are, their strengths, where their personal ambitions are. And from there, be that, let's say, guiding voice on understanding what are the relevant opportunities that tap into these skills of theirs. And it also may be that Chalhoub Group may not be their employer of choice, but we still remain that sounding voice for them. And I think this is when we see Emiratisation take its greatest impact. And so going back to even the first part is that's where Chalhoub stands, and that's why I take pride in being part of the Emiratisation journey here, because it's about driving Emiratisation within the group and also ensuring that we remain that guiding voice for the young talent that's there.
You're very passionate about it, and you can tell that you are, which is really nice. I wanted to ask you if you can give us some examples of the diverse educational and mentorship opportunities that you provide for the Emiratis at Chalhoub Group.
Yes, I do see more Emiratis wanting to join Chalhoub Group because we make it known to the market that we're here to provide sustainable careers. That is first and foremost, and seeing that retail is still somewhat a new territory. For us, it's about ensuring that we're also breeding young talent to be our future leaders of tomorrow. And we've seen time and time again, talent chasing experience more than any other criteria that seems to be, let's say, very stereotypical, such as salary and less working hours, which is not the case. Our talent is here to gain real work experience and ensure that they're adding value to the business. And so I believe that Chalhoub Group has set, let's say,
The bar or the caliber, I think.
yeah, to basically attract more talent that is willing to put themselves first
Yeah.
and ensure that they're here to make a footprint.
That's beautiful.
And you are doing amazing work, so is Nafis, of course. So, because you're so passionate, I want to ask, what are the plans for the future and what do you think needs to be done as a whole?
So when we look at our different partners in the industry, like Dubai Government of Human Resources Department and Dubai College of Tourism, as well as different universities like American University of Sharjah, HCT, Higher College of Technology, we see that universities have set the groundwork to prep students to go into the workforce. And now it's our social responsibility as corporates to ensure that we're also supporting during this critical stage where we find UAE nationals transitioning into their first job. And so what I would say is that we need to continue fostering that with the different partners that we have had who have helped us tap into creating a pipeline of national talent. And so when we continue to do so with meaningful and purposeful intent, we can really see Emiratisation continue to not only support with employment, but actually breed talent that are genuinely here and who can add value to the businesses that we have across the sectors.
I think, Nadia, I have to say this. It's truly inspiring listening to you and seeing how passionate you are about your job and what you do. So thank you so much for being with us on today's episode.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Now over to Ash. You've got the Experience 60 for our guest co-host. I don't know if you're ready.
Let's see.
Are you ready for this?
I hope so.
Okay, so we're going to put you on the spotlight. This is a fun little quiz that we like to call DXP in 60, where we ask you as many questions as possible and you need to answer them within 60 seconds. Ready?
All right.
All right.
It's a Formula Week, so I hope we get it in time.
All right, your first job.
In the Abu Dhabi Water and Electricity Authority.
Your motto in life and in work.
Add value to people.
Best piece of advice you have ever received.
Things will fly by.
What advice would you give your 21-year-old self?
Be passionate about what you do.
If you could have dinner with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
Sheikh Mohammed.
Best way to unwind after a stressful day.
Probably the gym.
Your go-to restaurant in Dubai.
That's a tricky one. That needs more than 60 seconds.
There's a lot
I would
of
say somewhere.
Nice.
A book, movie, or series you recommend.
Movie, Interstellar.
A superpower you wish you had.
Being invisible.
Finally, why Dubai?
Because it's the heart of the UAE and it has exponentially grown in such a small period of time.
Absolutely. Mohammed, thank you so much for being on the show with us and we hope to see you again.
Thank you for having me and it's been a pleasure.
And Nadia, it's been great having you on and we hope to see you again as well.
Thank you.
And continue the amazing work that you are doing. But for right now, you stick around, don't go anywhere because coming up we have the Bossa Project.